What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 9 of the podcast. And today we got some stuff to talk about. We're gonna preview some of the upcoming games, and then we're gonna talk about some more transfers that have gone on. And speaking of transfers that have gone on, looks like Thiago is officially heading to Liverpool for $30 million. What's your thoughts on this one, Nick?
I feel like this is an amazing signing for Liverpool. Thiago is like a playmaker, pass perfectionist. He can hit balls 50 yards right to the feet. He can make short passes, quick passes, through balls. I feel like he'll be the orchestrator of their attack now. And Mane, Salah, and Firmino, I bet they're licking their lips with all the opportunities Thiago's going to be giving them.
Oh, yeah. All he's going to do is he's going to help that attack. He's going to solidify that midfield. He's going to make sure they don't lose the ball as often as they have been in that midfield, and he's just really going to be the glue to hold together that midfield for him. Some news that came out of this, Klopp came forward and said the signing of Thiago will not change anything with Wijnaldum's future, which is nice to see, which you were saying the only way that Wijnaldum would hurt his future is if he forced his move out of Liverpool.
Yeah, I feel like obviously Liverpool would love to keep Wijnaldum. First of all, it gives them a lot of depth in the midfield position. Second of all, Wijnaldum's a really good player. He's a workhorse. He's box to box. He has a lot of energy. He brings in the clutch goal here and there. He keeps possession good. But he does have bigger aspirations. I know Liverpool is probably one of the better teams in Europe right now, but Barcelona at the end of the day is still Barcelona. They're a legendary club. Some might call them the best club of all time. And also Ronald Koeman, the new manager of Barca, was Wijnaldum's coach at the international level, and they've established a great relationship. So Wijnaldum, there's still a chance he might force the move, but as long as he doesn't force it, Liverpool's really happy to keep him there.
Yeah, no, I would love to see how Wijnaldum can play alongside Thiago in this midfield for Liverpool. It'd be really nice to see them gel and get their chemistry going together. Also at Liverpool, Diogo Jota might be heading over for 35 mil. What do you think about that one? And if you could choose as a Liverpool fan, if you could have Thiago or Jota, which one would you pick?
I think Jota is a good signing. I feel like he'll be a good bench player for Mane or Salah if one of them gets hurt, or if they're tired, or if they're out of form. And I do feel like it'll be good having him there as an understudy, because these two players, they might be attracted to a bigger club like Wijnaldum. They might be in a similar situation as Wijnaldum is right now. They might go to Barca, Liverpool, or Barca, Real Madrid, PSG. And if they go and he understudies, he might fit in for them perfectly. But if I was Liverpool and it came down to picking between one of them, I would go with Thiago, because I feel like Liverpool has been lacking that creative force in the midfield. Like, they get a lot of their chances just using their forwards and their pace, and Firmino has to drop into that midfield position a lot to create. But with Thiago there, I feel like Firmino might be able to play more as a natural striker, and he might get on the score sheet too. And I feel like he's just such an orchestrator of the ball. Thiago's a perfect signing for them.
Yeah, agreed. And it's a good thing they don't have to choose between both of these players. They're going to bring in both of them.
Yeah.
What I find is crazy is sometimes I forget how young Jota actually is, because like I've been hearing his name a lot recently in the Prem League, like he's making noise. He's a very productive player in English football. It's just crazy to see a 23-year-old had this much noise around him in the Prem League, and he's going over there for 35 mil. He's just really going to improve him over there. And what do you think this does for Liverpool's chances at winning back-to-back? What do you think this does for their chances at winning the Prem again?
I feel like it definitely improves their chances, because they've had two tough fights the last 2 years for the Premier League. 2 years ago they came up a little short, and last year they won it. But I just feel like they needed more depth in that midfield. Like, their midfielders have been logging in a lot of minutes recently over the last 2 years, and I feel like Thiago will freshen them up a little bit. He'll give them a new identity as well, so they can play the Klopp way, or they can slow it down a little bit and let Thiago create his way through the whole field. But I still feel like Liverpool is going to be a little bit short. I feel like Man City's on a revenge tour this season, and I feel like Liverpool will have to settle for second place still.
Okay, I would have thought that these signings might have swayed your opinion, but I guess not.
The signings on paper, they're perfect, but we still have to make sure they gel together, I think everything points that they will gel, but we don't know until we see it, so I don't want to get too excited too quick. But if I was a Liverpool fan, I would be excited at the prospect of these two players playing for my club, yes.
True. It is all about how they do play together in the end. Then speaking of more transfer news, we got Gareth Bale and Reguilon to Spurs, with Bale on a loan and Reguilon heading over for £35.5 million. What do you think about these two signings?
I feel like, honestly, Reguilon on paper looks like a great signing for Spurs, but if you read the hidden details of the agreement with Real Madrid does have a buyback clause included, so they can buy back Reguilon within a certain number of years anytime they want. And I feel like Spurs gave out a little too easily on this.
And then how much is that buyback clause going to be?
I'm not sure the exact price, but I think it's maybe like 10 or 20 million more. It really won't be worth it if he turns out into a great player, because they'll be buying a great player.
No.
It'll be like a longer loan, in my opinion. So I feel like, for example, Man United gave up on Reguilon because of that buyback clause, and I feel like Spurs, they got bitched a little bit by Real Madrid. But Spurs are in a position right now where they're struggling to keep up with the top four, and I feel like they have to take it on the ass and move on,
Yeah.
But
yeah, and after I see him going to Spurs now, I kind of I was salty that he wasn't going to go to Man U, but now I get with the buyback clause, it being a team like Manchester, you're not going to want to buy a player that has a buyback clause like that, just kind of makes you look like a bitch to the team you're buying it from.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Spurs said, okay, we're not really a big club. We don't have anything, we haven't done anything, so we're okay with this buyback clause, because I feel like this is a way of I don't know how to word this, but I think it's the way of Spurs are like, okay, we know we're this kind of team. We're in the middle end of the top teams in England, and we're okay with the buyback clause because we know where we are in England.
Yeah.
And because of this deal, Alex Telles agrees to 5-year personal terms with Man U, and Porto and United are in the talks for the final price for Alex Telles to come over, the left back from Porto. What do you think about this one for Man U?
Yeah, I think this is a great signing because Man United are going to get him on a permanent basis. They're not going to have to deal with Porto or any buyback clauses or first refusals or anything like that. They're going to keep him for 5 years. He's 27 now, so through the majority of his prime. And also it's going to give good competition at the left back spot between Luke Shaw and Telles, see who's better. It'll motivate both players in training to play harder. And also, if one of them gets hurt, we don't have to panic and play like Williams out of position. We know we have another solid left back on the bench.
Yeah, but this is a great signing. And as you were saying, it just gives them more depth at that left back spot, and it gives them the chance to move Brandon Williams over to the right back position where he's naturally playing and where he's naturally supposed to be playing, and not have to come in at left back and be a vulnerability in the back for Man U, which you saw in the Europa League for him there. And it's just all around, it's going to help with the squad depth and help with the competition. So with this signing, to when he does come in, who do you start at left back, Luke Shaw or Alex Telles?
I think at first I allow Luke Shaw to retain his spot. He's built a pretty good season the last couple seasons with Ole, and built some good chemistry with Rashford, Pogba, Bruno, and all them. And I feel like Luke Shaw deserves that chance. He's been playing pretty well other than his injuries, but if there's a slip-up or if he gets hurt, I put Telles in. I give Telles some game time for Shaw, get him used to the team, give him some chemistry. And like I was saying earlier with Thiago, like, he needs time to gel. And that's the same with Telles. Like, he'll need time and opportunity to gel with the squad. And he's also a really attacking player, so especially gelling with the forwards and Pogba and Bruno will be really important for him.
Yeah, it's so nice to have an attacking left back. We don't have that much of an attacking right back, but I feel like he's getting better in Aaron Wan-Bissaka. But it's just nice to have an attacking fullback in this kind of football that we're playing nowadays. Just it just allows the wingback to help out more on offense than just sit back on defense and just get those tackles like Aaron Wan-Bissaka does.
Yeah.
And still in the Prem League here, Pierre Aubameyang just signed a new deal with Arsenal.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet deal there for Arsenal, but they get back the 31-year-old who's been insane for them. He's been really good. He's a really solid striker. Where would you rate him as a striker in the Prem League? Would you put him top 5, or where would you put him?
I think, yeah, he's top five for sure, especially on current form. He's bagging goals, playmaking. He's being a really good captain, showing great leadership skills for Arsenal. And I feel like the contract extension is really important for Arsenal because there was a lot of teams out after Aubameyang, but when they hired Mikel Arteta from Man City to be the new manager of Arsenal, he gained some chemistry with him, and I think Arteta's vision of the future really persuaded Aubameyang to stay. And I feel if they lost this player, if they lost a player like Aubameyang's stature, they would have went backwards like 5 years. But since they kept him, it's going to let them get back into the top four, top six quicker than originally thought.
Agreed. Yeah, it's nice seeing Aubameyang, back there at Arsenal. He's been kind of the face of them up front. Him and Lacazette, I think, he's been better than Lacazette has. He's just a striker. I think anyone in England would love to have on their side, and just automatically slides into 95% of the teams in the world. And another move we got Higuain to enter Miami FC. And we see another veteran soccer player head over to the MLS to continue their career and start a new chapter. What do you think about this one for him?
Yeah, I actually like this move for both the parties, Inter Miami and Higuain. I feel like Higuain, he's done his time in Europe. He's played a lot. He's contributed to Argentina, to Juventus, to every club he's been at, really. And now he's getting older, and I feel like Inter Miami will be a perfect spot for him to finish his career. David Beckham's really building a really great MLS team there. He got Blaise Matuidi from Juventus, and now Gonzalo Higuain. They're gonna be a power. They're gonna be a powerhouse in the MLS for years to come, for sure, if everything clicks. And I just feel like he's gonna bring something to American soccer that fans really here don't really know. They don't know that tough, like back to goal striker that holds up the ball and can also score. So I feel like it'll be really interesting for American fans who are new to soccer to watch him play.
Yeah, I absolutely love when these older forwards head over the MLS. I love when Zlatan went, he took that league by storm. He was still bagging in the goals like he did in Europe all of his career. And he's going to be joining Pellegrini over there for him, over there at Inter Miami FC. And I really hope the best of Higuain over there. I really hope he bags in the goals. I've been loving to watch him play over the years. He's been off and on in Europe, but he's still been able to bag in the goals, and it's nice to see him move on to another chapter as he goes over there. So now we're going to look at the league games coming up this week. Tomorrow, we got 4 games coming up for you. The first one at 4:30 is going to be Everton taking on West Brom at Goodison Park. What do you think about this one?
I think based off last week's performances, West Brom looked awful and Everton looked really good. And I don't see anything changing this. I think Everton 2-0 easy win. I see James Rodriguez opening his scoring tally at Everton this week, and I feel like Everton will just ease out through the whole game.
Yeah, I see a pretty easy game for Everton here. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to see a clean sheet in this one here. I don't see anything from West Brom really doing anything at all against Everton. They're just too strong in the midfield up front too, with Charlton and fucking DCL. They're looking really good. Expect Everton to win this one. But next one, we got Leeds against Fulham at Ellen Road. What do you think about this one?
This game is interesting because last season in the Championship, these two teams had a lot of battles. And I think those battles are appropriate in Championship football. But now that they're in the Premier League, I think Leeds' quality will push them past Fulham. We saw against Liverpool, Leeds really possessed the ball well. They countered well. They built up well. They had some great individual brilliance from Jack Harrison, for example, and from Bamford. And I feel like Leeds will cut out the mistakes they made versus Liverpool and play a better game, and they'll win this one easily too.
Yeah, I see Leeds to winning this one, but they looked really good against Liverpool. Fulham does have Mitrovic back up front for them, so expect him to maybe bag one in. I'm expecting him to bag one in today. But not today, but I expect him to bag one in this one. I could see this one being a draw, but I see Leeds winning 2-1 in this one. And then the next one, we got Manchester United at home taking on Crystal Palace. First game of the season for Van de Beek. He looks set to make his debut. And how do you think this one's going to fare out?
Man United, we usually really struggle against Crystal Palace, honestly. I don't understand why. But Zaha usually gives us a lot of problems. And I feel like Crystal Palace will score, but I say Man United 3, Crystal Palace 1. I think we have too much quality in the midfield, especially with Van de Beek making his debut. And also we have too much quality up front for them. It'll be really interesting to see how we line up. It's rumored that Bruno Fernandes might play at the right wing and Pogba at the cam. I don't really agree with that, but we'll see what happens. But I'm expecting Man United to have a 3-1 win. 3-1 win.
Yeah, me too. I expect a 3-1 win finish too. I really want to see how this midfield is laid out for this game coming up because I don't know how I feel about Bruno playing that right wing position when we got Greenwood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just have to see game day when this one. How they're gonna line up for this one, but yeah, I expect a 3-1 win. I expect a lot of trouble from Zaha as he has done to us in the past. He's by far the best player they got out there in their outfield 10. But this could end up to be a tough one. You know, we don't always open this season as good as we like. I feel like we do a lot of overestimating with this Man U team, but I expect a 2-1 win out of this one. And then the last game of the day tomorrow is Arsenal at home against West Ham. Are you looking for an upset in this one, Nick?
No, I'm not. Just like similarly to Everton versus West Brom, Arsenal looked amazing last week against Fulham. And West Ham looked like trash. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, no offense to them, to their fans. They have great fans who deserve better, but the team is not performing. Arsenal is flying. Arsenal have been flying since Arteta took over as manager. And I don't see anything stopping that. I feel maybe it'll be a little closer than some expect. Maybe 2-1. But I feel like Arsenal will dominate the game. West Ham might get a consolation goal late, but 2-1 Arsenal.
Yeah, no, I mean, you could look at this West Ham team on paper and you could really say that you expect more from a squad like this, don't you say?
Yeah.
You know, like, you have a decent team out here. It's just, it doesn't seem like anything is being, it just doesn't seem like there's enough being, like, in the background from David Moyes, or just doesn't seem like he's the manager for this squad because they're not playing at all what they should be from what they look like on paper. You know, I expect another world-class performance from my boy Willian. You know, I was talking a lot of shit about him, but watching him play that first game, he looks to be like a cornerstone piece of this team. You know, he was able to get forward a lot last game. He got a couple of assists. He looked really good on ball. Expect them to win this one 3-0. I would love to see them, but get the clean sheet would be really nice. But yeah, I expect a 3-0 win for Arsenal over West Ham in this one. So talking about West Ham, you know, what do you think's the problem there? What's going on with them?
I feel like there's a lot of problems. Like I've said in previous podcasts, I feel like there's a sense of arrogance with the club. The players are not, they're good on paper, like you were saying. They should be performing better, but they're not. And I can't put that down to anything except arrogance. They've had a lot of managers, and none of them have been getting their right since Dimitri Payet left the club. And I just feel like they've been going down and down and down. And I can see them getting relegated this year. I really can. I feel like they'll barely survive. But with this arrogance and like they're underestimating opponents and everything, I just don't see them performing where they should. And I can't put it down to anything but arrogance.
Yeah. I hate to see them do as poorly as they have been. I would really love for them to do better in the Prem. But there was a statement put out by Ray Parlour that says Gareth Bale returning to Tottenham will be a better signing than Thiago over to Liverpool. What's your thoughts on that one? Do you agree with that?
Oh, that's tough. That's really tough. Because
I don't know about this one.
I would agree with that if Tottenham had a more attacking manager. But since it's Jose Mourinho, they're going to park the bus. They're not going to get forward. They're not going to possess the ball. They're not going to score a lot of goals. I don't feel like Bale on paper or even like the visual-wise, he won't have the impact that Thiago does. He won't. But I feel like that's down to the manager, not down to Gareth Bale.
I don't get why he wanted to come back to Tottenham so much. I just don't feel like he's going to get the service that he would at Real Madrid or at any of the other clubs he could have been able to go to. I just don't really see Bale doing much this season for Spurs. You know, like he's gonna get his goals and his assists, but probably not as much as anyone would expect from them because of their manager. Which I don't think he has a place in the Prem League.
Yeah, he wanted to.
I don't like Jose Mourinho.
He wanted to go back to Spurs because Real Madrid wasn't really playing him, and Spurs again they were the only team willing to pay his full salary, so he didn't have to take a pay cut to join them. So it made economic sense for him, and also like it gives him like a story like fairy tale finish to potentially his career.
Yeah,
he goes
is.
back to his club he spent years at, and then he made a big transfer to Real. Now he's back. Hopefully he can revive Spurs and finish the story off good. But if Mourinho's there, the story's not going to finish good.
Yeah, and let's hope he has a good season because he used to be one of my favorite players to watch. Used to love him.
Yeah, he's amazing. But
One of my favorites.
Yeah.
But that's all we have for you guys today. We're gonna watch these games in the Prem, and then we're gonna make another video on the weekend, probably on the Monday or the day before. But we'll have some more content out for you. Thanks for watching, and be safe and have a good one.
peace.